Insecurity. Fashola blames pastors who preach sudden wealth, miracles. Welcome to the news. If you have been there, thank you for your support, now and always. And if you are new, kindly subscribe to my channel. The news. Babatunde Fashola, the Minister of Works and Housing. Babatunde Fashola has accused clerics that preach sudden wealth and miracles of contributing to the worsening security situation of Nigeria. Fashola, during a TV interview monitored by the Whistler, said the country's value system has progressively become worse because religious institutions and parents have left the bulk of the job to the federal and state governments. According to him, the situation may never improve until all hands are put on deck to address it, and maintain very seriously that until we deal with our value system, until we go back through the homes, the religious institutions, reshape values from preaching miracles, sudden wealth, because some of these things are driven by that. They are driven by drugs. We are driven by parents being inclusive, not as involved in the development of our children. Fashola told Channel Television Seun Okinbaloye when he was asked about the state of insecurity under President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. It is going to take more than the federal government. It is going to take a whole nation to come back and say, this is where we went wrong. And I think that conversation is going to be a very extensive one. The former two-time Lagos State governor said. Fashola also blamed past administration's failure to adequately fund and equip the country's security agencies for the degeneration of the security challenges. The Whistler recalled that before President Muhammadu Buhari took over power in 2015 and appointed a minister, Fashola has blamed former President Goodluck Jonathan for a robbery incident at the branch of the FCMB at Admiralty Way and the Lekki. The then Lagos State governor said the deployment of all our security personnel, all our security vehicles to protect one man, Jonathan, during the then president's visit to the state made it impossible for the police to prevent the robbery. Jonathan and Buhari were in the state for different functions at the time of the robbery. But speaking on the country's worsening insecurity under Buhari administration on Sunday, Fashola said, I sympathize very deeply and sincerely with everybody who has been a victim of crime. I have also been a victim of crime in my previous life, and it was not a nice experience. And I hope that somehow this government comes through for them and bring them relief. But having said that, security is not something I will sit down and politicize. It is like oxygen. Now the odds against the government every time is that government has to be right all the time, and the criminals have to be right only once. And that is why I have said earlier that the security conversation requires some very detailed rigor. If we are not looking at values, we are not looking at how crime proceeds are dealt with, how we can intercept that to make it unprofitable. If people believe, for example, that you can kidnap a human being and take body parts and you can make money from human eggs and all of those funny things, look at this country. Don't forget that sometimes it takes a long time for a problem to come to full bloom. But the seed of some of the problems were sown many years ago. Remember that in 2001 or 2002, Nigerian policemen went on strike. Maybe you didn't recall. The nation went without policemen for a week or two. That was a warning. You will see that in the state governments that are resourcing and funding policemen, it didn't start yesterday, and that was also a problem. So all of the basic law enforcement, civilian capacity has not been met by the previous federal government. I'm not saying that we have also met them. They have all accrued at a time like this. While that is Fashola talking about how cleric assists people with the mentality that there is miracle money and that they can become rich without working. You blame past administration, the incoming The incoming will also blame you for your inability to fix the past now. There has never been any time these people feel responsible for the Nigerian problems. Rather, they like to just sit down somewhere and imagine all sorts of ideas. They hardly portray our reality, shifting blames from Jonathan to foreigners, to youth, to exiles, to workers, to us, to parents, and never to themselves. Bros, I think it's better you don't comment. I've created an enabling environment for job. As a leader, you are one of the failures. You are among those that crippled the power sector. Bros, don't stop criticizing those that preach prosperity messages. So that is the reason why Fulani terrorists and bandits are destroying the country. Shameless and chanceless people. All pastors too caused ASU strike action. Pastors preaching stop you from giving Nigerians light as you promised. We are blaming pastors, blaming imams, without blaming the rightful government of the country that is supposed to be blamed. Fashola, you don't have the right to interfere in issue of religion. Forget about what is happening there and focus on how you will repent and save your own soul too. You politicians are to blame. As a minister with so many portfolio. How many people did you train or employ? Can you give account of source of the income? The church estate you built at the GRA, what billions of naira? Where did you get the money from? Fashola's angers against started when he rose against Muslim ticket. He wasn't speaking, but now he's speaking to please Tinubu. So sad, he's awarding the most costly road in Nigerian history. He kept records of all the promises good Lord Jonathan made. He can't recall any of Buhari promises. So sad. Oga Fasho, what about insecurity in northern Nigeria? My friend, insecurity in the northern Nigeria is due to some religious bigots, Islamic extremists, jihadists, and religious fanatics. It is the leaders who loot all our money, not the pastor that continue giving us hope. But as many that is alive till this moment shall rejoice because our hope is very near. Peter Obi is the answer. I don't blame this fellow because he's part of the people that put Nigeria in the mess the country is swimming. APC as usual look for who to blame. So the insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria is caused by pastors, congregational members. Honestly, there seems that they don't think before they say things that made them look so stupid. Fashola go and blast insecurity. People without eyes and brain, though they may be riding flying on private jets, I believe they have affected life positively than the scavenging politicians. Imagine the asset of living faith, redeemed Catholics scattered across the nation, something public office holders should learn from. Oga, you are telling the truth while running away from the truth. You, Oga Minister, and your cohorts are key architects of the problems due to misplacements of priority. Stop this politicking. Well, that is Fashola making his mind known and people reacting. Is it right in saying it is the preaching of quick wealth that is making crime and insecurity to fester in our nation? Kindly make your opinion known as you subscribe to my channel. Thank you, good day, and be blessed.